Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness with 3 S's. I'm your host here, Francis, with my co-host, JoJo, in the same space.
Wow.
Who would have thunk it? We are here together today to recap probably the most upsetting, disturbing, nauseating, frustrating, humiliating, disappointing, if I didn't say it already, episode of Big Brother Celebrity Season 3.
Well, cheers up until yesterday.
We just this is for the well, cheers.
What could have been?
What could have been?
You know,
I'm so upset.
I slept really poorly Saturday night because of this. I woke up this morning feeling great because I read an update that the three of them got together and they were chatting and things were looking good. They were back on the same page, but I don't actually think they are. I think they're back to
mess.
Back to them being so upset with Shayna.
Why are they so upset with her? So we start this episode with the head of household competition, and most of the people that watch this channel have probably watched the live feed, so they knew what was going on. And when Sarah and I were doing this recap, we were watching the live feed, so we did have our live reaction. So you probably saw my live reaction excitement with how this competition went down. So Lamar lasted about 21 minutes. He falls off. Then Cynthia falls off shortly after. They were just not doing that well, but we saw them that they're on those like director chairs, yes. But then they're getting their hairstylist was sending makeup and paint and
wigs
and they were torturing them. And so you said lots, but Shayna got hit in the box by a paintball.
She took one to the
box. Todd, I think, went out next, was it?
Next, yeah.
Todd, we didn't really expect them to go that long, to be fair.
So figure the final three playing in the comp would be the final three playing in the comp.
And what was so frustrating was that Todd was in his confessional, oh, I'm playing for Misha. I want to play for Misha. I just need to understand what the allure is. I do understand having an appreciation for a comp beast and people that are doing well in the game. But from what we've seen, her personality's not exciting.
My theory is there has to be something about her that we are not seeing on the feeds or on the show.
She doesn't cook tasty food. The joke is that she only makes kale and makes a mess and leaves it everywhere. Yeah. So I don't know, but look at who we have here. Dolores. Yes. Hi. Yes, we're together in the same room, which is the first time I think we've done this.
Yeah.
Which is very fun. So Dolores, how are you feeling about this episode? That's the question. Boom. So then our hope for this week being really good. Shayna falls.
Yeah.
And I was still okay with it. I really wanted Shayna to win this one. I thought that she would be the best person to just nominate Todrick and Misha right up. It doesn't matter. She's not worried about any aftermath or the fall. She would just do that. Yeah. And so I really wanted her to just have the power to do this because I had a feeling that Carson wouldn't want to put up Todrick. Right. And so when Shayna fell, I was like, oh boy. But she still had some hope in Carson. Carson looked pretty stable and sturdy.
Yeah.
And so, she says the confessional that I would have been so excited if I didn't know what had happened. She's like, oh, but if Carson wins, we could flip this house, turn this house upside down. And we're like, okay, yes. Okay, so just let's challenge Carson. And we're sitting and we're watching and we're waiting. And then we see Todrick doesn't seem to be really that stable. And so he's has one little slip and we're like, and people are just oh my God. And he makes a deal with Carson. So what do you think about him making a deal with Carson?
I have to be honest, I was okay with him making a deal with Carson. I think no part of me thought that Carson would ever actually come after Todrick. They've worked together for years on Drag Race. They've known each other. And he's not aware that Todrick's been literally gunning for him since the moment that he's walked into this house. I don't know why he's not aware of that, because Todrick's number one ally has put Carson on the block twice, and he's had to be saved by himself or Shauna last week. So I really don't understand why he doesn't get that Todrick wants his butt out. But making a deal is always smart if you want that head of household, and Carson clearly needed it. So I was okay with that.
And well, we know that if you make, deals and you can bounce checks in the Big Brother house.
Yes.
So we're just like, I'm kind of thinking like, well, like if he needs to I'll bounce that check. He can bounce that check. Like it makes sense. And like, what's so frustrating too is like being in the Twitter universe, and like you guys said you wanted like gameplay. You guys said you wanted like a split house, and it's like, yeah, I love the fact that there's a split house. I just want people to be fighting for their own side, not being coerced by one side to take out themselves. I never like that. No. So that's a little bit later to come, but we get to be excited for for Carson getting his flowers. He gets the HOH room, which was it was really nice, because being on the bottom for most of the game, it's nice to have some power. Yeah. And so I was so happy for him when that happened. So happy. So Dolores says, I appreciate Todrick owning up in the diary room his gameplay. I just wish that he would own up to his personal attacks, so I'm not impressed with him. Absolutely. Like we were saying this while we were watching, that it's absolutely like try anything, stay in the game, do what it takes to keep your ally in the game. But they didn't show what they're actually doing behind the scenes. And with him making personal attacks about her wardrobe and about like her behavior in the house, saying that she doesn't deserve to be there for the fact that she hasn't had to work for anything that she has. She just married men, and so they've all worked harder than she had. It's like, sorry, she was Miss America. Yeah. Right?
She was Miss USA.
She was Miss USA.
She was in Austin Powers as a flight attendant. Like, I don't know. I feel like he was absolutely slut shaming, which is shocking coming from Todrick. And
shocking? You think it's shocking?
Honestly, I never thought he would bring up a woman the way he did and to speak about her the way that he did. It was gross. You can check for the receipts on Twitter. I'm glad that they didn't show it on television. Because
I mean, it's definitely not. It's not a good look. But I wish that some of the casuals would see what he's actually like, because they're just saying like, oh, you guys are just being bitter because like they're playing a good game, and it's like it's more than that. I can appreciate that move, because it's like it's changing you so far, like because JoJo now is Team Misha for the win. Which is on my team.
I mean, besides Shayna, I obviously am rooting for Shayna. I think Carson and Cynthia really, their stock went down for me the last 24 hours, I guess. And I gotta say, Misha's probably the front runner right now, and I won't be upset if she takes home the
if it's over Todrick. That would make me very excited.
Yes, because
Todrick has been, in my opinion, piggybacking off of the success of the cookout. I do think that relationship and that he cultivated with allowing a lot of the people from the cookout, plus other people of color, staying at his house for a couple months after the game ended. I think that got him a ticket onto Celebrity Big Brother, made him a little more enticing. Yeah. And maybe if Big Brother producers were like, oh, do you think he would be a good pick? Like maybe they vouched for him. So I do think they helped him get onto the show. And then at times when he feels it's necessary, he's like, oh, I want either, as you said, either a gay person or a Black person to win this game.
And we've been targeting a gay person since day one, the only other openly gay person in the show. And he's also said that he actually said that he is the only, these words came out of his mouth, that he's the only Black person playing to win this game.
Yeah, I was really annoyed when he said that. It's like, so they're throwing people under the bus.
Yeah.
That they're not playing as well as you, so you deserve to win. Like, enough of him. But I love that there was a new sheriff in town. I was really excited that it was going to be Carson. We're going to see him in his head of household room. We're going to see him in his robe. We're going to see him do some fabulous confessionals.
As he always has, he does.
And then you see Misha's sour face being like, we just got worst case scenario. And we were like, it wasn't actually worst case scenario. It was like second worst case scenario. Because I think worst case scenario would have been Shayna.
100%.
Because Shayna would have 100% put both of them up on the block.
Yep.
But Carson, it was most likely just would be Misha and Todd. So it's second to worst case scenario. We have Sophie hanging out with us. Hey, Sophie. Wow, you guys are in the same room. Didn't see that coming. Yes. Twist. Twist. Congrats for winning the LA winning the Super Bowl. Wow.
Is that
So
Rams or is that the other one?
It's the new team. I don't know. What's the two teams?
Don't
Congrats. How was the halftime show?
How was the commercials?
So Todrick also told Kirkpatrick that his 4-year-old child would not be proud of him. He is not great at all.
Love using that word for him. He is a bully.
And then plays the victim. And that's what you were telling me that Kirkpatrick said about what he's noticed about Todrick.
Yeah, the post eviction interviews.
My drag team got lucky. I don't know about if it got lucky.
Let's hope.
I do think I have the winner on my team.
I think Misha's the winner. So
yeah, I think my team right now is, we can actually just show this. We can show the winner.
Ooh, show me how it's done.
Yeah.
All the porn. Oh my god.
You can actually.
Oh my god.
Yes, stop that. It's not true.
Oh, here we go. There's the winner right there. One eye winner. Oh, teams. Oh, Sophie, I'm sorry about Chris.
So this is what our teams are looking like right now. So I mean, look at how bad that, like, I'm going to have to leave it like this because she's going to win with the worst picture on this. And I forgot to fix it.
I wish she went purple hair like Natalie.
She or me?
No, I wish she went, I wish she actually went purple. So like this maroon.
Maybe she'll look nicer or kinder. So right now, Sophie only, so let me just fix that actually. Where is
oh god, Jonathan's going to. Oh,
Jonathan. Okay, so we're gonna. Sorry, Team Jonathan. Oh, hold on. Let me make another row. Let's get rid of Team Jonathan. Did she come up? No. But I can't see.
You can see.
Glasses. Oh, thank you. Okay, so we are going to get rid of Mariah. We're going to get rid of Kirkpatrick.
Teddy.
And get rid of Teddy.
And Chris Katani.
And Katani.
Oh, should we make a row for quitters?
We could.
Add a row.
For quitters.
Quit.
Let's
hope we can add some more to that.
So, I mean,
at the end of the week.
I'm sorry, Jonathan. I love you, but I did have faith in your team before they started playing. I do not see the possibility of Todd being the winner of this game. I just don't see a world where that exists. I do think that Shayna still has a chance. We'll get to it. She does have a chance still. Todrick still has a chance.
I don't not think Todrick has a chance to win.
Well,
even against Lamar, he might win against Todd.
But he may get votes to get with the black people. So
Teddy will not. Chris Kattan will not if he's voting.
Cynthia will no matter what.
Cynthia will. Mariah will not. And Patrick will not. That's 4.
Carson still has a shot. Cynthia still has a shot. Misha still has a shot. Lamar still has a shot. So everybody except for basically these two really is what I'm thinking. So sorry, Sophie. I'm not sure. Well, you have a shot with Lamar. You have a shot. That's what we're looking at right now. I don't know if I got lucky. I think I just picked really well this time around.
Some goodies.
Yes, there's the draft update. The halftime show was awesome. Yeah, I'll watch that after. We'll do a little reaction video. Hi, Eddie. So Todrick plays the race card if things don't go his way. Yeah, it's bros or the gay card or like I'm victim. Like I haven't done anything. I had to work so hard for everything. Like I don't like Teddy because like she didn't have to work for anything in her life. But like you can't really measure people's reasonings for being in the game, and you can't say that somebody deserves to win more than somebody else. Especially not on Celebrity Big Brother, because
it's a different beat.
Everybody has baseline more than a lot of people. So Chantel's winning this draft. I mean, it's pretty.
Let's hope that
high.
I win it. Let's just hope. I really would love to see Shayna win at this point, but I think the winner's on your team.
Yeah,
but I really hope she does it.
Shayna, I'm rooting for Shayna, but she has an uphill battle. I feel like Shayna might win since they're giving her the winner's edit. Well, there's no edit though when we don't know what's happening, right?
Survivor Sophie, Dophie.
They don't know how it ends. We're kind of up to date with like what's happening. The commercials weren't great. They only had a couple Marvel trailers. Okay. I don't watch Marvels. I should get caught up. We're only 10 days away from the finale, which is going to be 1 hour, which is surprising me. No surprise to me. Well, there's two hour episodes.
I think they're just Fridays episodes.
There's another 2 hour episode. I saw the schedule. I think there's another one like on a Monday or something like that.
No, I don't know where my phone is. Otherwise, it's right here. I'll check.
Okay, well, let's get back to this Dard episode. So I love seeing those. The Switzers, it's called Sisters. They're having the jump around that usually happens in the storage room. They're doing it in the pink bedroom, and that's Todrick, Cynthia, and Shayna. They're just like super happy. This is what Chris Kirkpatrick sacrificed his game for. Yeah. He sacrificed his game so that
one of them,
Carson could win this head of household, just to upset the balance in the house and not let it be a Misha Todrick steamroll. And so I understand their excitement, but I knew what was happening. Mm-hmm. I knew what was happening while I was watching it. So unfortunate. And then we start seeing like some sour, upset confessionals from like Todrick being like, oh, like I wish this didn't happen. This isn't so good. Like I made a deal with Carson, but like my number one person, Misha, is going to be going up on the block most likely. And I get it. I'm a ride or die type person. I would never want my, number one to go out. Absolutely not. But he should have been tighter with Carson.
Yeah.
He should have been tighter with Carson.
It's not like it's just Misha that is after Carson. Like she hears Todrick. She goes, okay, well, yeah, his social game is great. I get it. He is incredibly charming. He can win competitions. Yeah, let's go after him. Perfect. You support it. I support it. Perfect. Mm-hmm. So in my sense, I've seen them as a team, absolutely. But I think Misha's playing a better game. She's not pissing people off. She's not making.
Well, she was before, like.
No, definitely, but she's not going out of her way to. The people that are leaving are not saying, I hate Misha. It's like she might have put them on the block, but they're not blaming her for their evictions.
Yeah,
they're blaming Toddy. By Toddy, I mean Todrick.
So Eddie says, as a black man, I hate how he weaponizes his. Oh, sorry, we said this before. It's so frustrating, though. It will be funny if Todd Bridges or Lamar somehow end up winning the entire season. They'd have to go. They would have to go on like a winning spree. Absolutely.
I mean, I'm assuming Lamar's a millionaire from being an NBA champion.
But like, did he spend a lot of money when he was kind of down and out?
Know. But I would just assume that as an NBA champion.
Well, he I don't know, like he kind of OD'd at like a strip club. So.
But he was married to a Kardashian.
But like, I don't know, like 50 million can go pretty quickly if you're like.
It can?
I don't know. I'm assuming.
Let me check my bank account. 50 million.
And also, though, another thing too, I was looking at just the stats of people's like money, since Todrick talks a lot about money. Oh, he's about to say.
Shayna is like very wealthy.
Yeah, like Shayna has her own personal $15 million. She actually mentors and helps other young people that want to be going through the Miss America, like Miss Universe, like that, the pageant world, whatever. So she has like a whole that foundation company that like helps motivate and train and whatever, like these pageant kids. And the people that go through pageants have a lot of money.
Yeah.
So I believe that her personal net worth is about 15 million bucks.
It's not bad, yeah.
And so for Mr. Todrick just to be like, oh, she doesn't do anything. This is her own personal net worth, not net worth from getting child support. Like this is what she's made on accrued on her own. And I think that and Cynthia is still good, but I think she's only at about $1 million.
Really?
Maybe 3 million.
I think I saw Todrick at 4.
Todrick's at 4 million? Is
Yeah.
that much?
And then I didn't see Carson's. I didn't see.
Can we look it up?
Yeah.
If you don't mind.
Was it? Do you remember?
Just type in net worth with their
On
name.
Twitter?
I just did it on Google.
Who am I looking up first? Carson.
So what I thought was so frustrating, you can probably agree with me, is like when Todrick was talking to Misha and he's kind of pacing around, he's like, I just thought that I would win something right now. I'm just feeling bad that, like, you know, you've done so much for me and I haven't been able to contribute. Like, I'm always someone that's able to contribute to, like, my friends and people I care about. And I was just like, I don't care about this sob story, Todrick. No. Like, do better on the competitions. They're not hard. Like do better. Which is very annoying. And I just don't like, if he's like, please, can I have this? I haven't won anything yet. Like,
it's gonna happen. He's going to ask someone to throw it to him. And then
I haven't won anything yet. So he can have HOH-itis. He's already had HOH-itis every week when he's not been HOH. I don't think I can handle a Todrick head of household reign.
Second place is not a win.
That's what he's good at, getting second place.
Great at second, but he's not clinching the wins when he needs them. And this week he needed that win. I don't care if you have to lock in. Like, why didn't he lock in his elbows?
I'm thinking though that he has he's been talking about his booty, and I think he's been really talking about it because of his single. Have you seen the single?
I just saw that his butt's in a music video.
Yeah, and so that's I think it was released while he's in the house, and that's
I don't want to give him any views, so I'm not looking.
I feel like I saw it in not on YouTube, it was on something else. So hopefully, yes, Dolores. I do think Todrick is burning. Every jury vote that he could have possibly ever had will be gone. The only one that he might get will be Cynthia's.
And Carson, unless they watch
They're going to watch it, and Cynthia will still give him the vote, and maybe Carson still might give him a vote, but they'll be, disappointed.
This is the thing. The format might change, but normally Celebrity Big Brother, the final 4, whoever wins the last head of household brings someone to the final 2. Mm-hmm. So those 2 people that are evicted don't see the show. They don't hear from the outside world. I see. But
isn't that going to be Lamar and Todd?
And that'll most likely be Lamar and Todd. So in my mind, Cynthia and Carson are going to be going home in the next couple of weeks if Shayna goes home this week, which I really hope doesn't happen. But if all that happens, if the 3 of them are out back to back to back, I don't think they're going to respect Todrick when he's been pushing integrity, character, honesty, the best players, being loyal to your partner, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know, Cynthia might get sour and say, you know what, you ruined my relationship with this woman who really wasn't doing that many bad things to me. She was just playing the game, playing both sides. She was never putting your name in her mouth. So that's what's really frustrating.
So wait till Todrick gets home. His roommates, most of the cast of BB23, will make fun of him for a long time. I don't know if they'll make fun of him for a long time. It depends on how well he does. Because if he gets to the final 2, then he will still be able to, I think, have some respect from them. Because he still was able to get to final 2, it is respectable to, even if we don't appreciate or enjoy what he's doing in the house, getting there, however you do it, it still did it. So I think that they will be okay with him, considering Hannah doesn't like what he's doing in the game, but still wants to root for him for America's favorite player. And Tiffany thinks that all he's doing is game and supports his gameplay, and will have private conversations after.
Yeah, and Big D is just making fun of Shayna and her relationship with her boyfriend that's gone really sour. While she's
have you seen her flirting with Lamar? Because I've not seen this
at all. I feel like she could have used her sexuality even more so if she wanted to play that game. She didn't play that game. She's been playing the rat floater, and we all we can appreciate a rat floater game, but she picked a side. She clearly picked a side. So yeah, it might have worked for the first couple of days. It
was 4 days she was a rat floater.
Let it go. But she's been playing a great game. And to be honest, good for Todrick for blowing up her game. I get it. but the way that he went about it is gross, and no one's going to respect it. This jury gets to go home and watch the gosh darn show. We all saw what
If
happened to
Shayna
Danielle.
goes home, like she's going to taint the juries. That's 4 votes right there.
Teddy's tainting it. Mariah's not going to vote. Most likely will not.
Chris will not.
Patrick will not vote for him.
And Shayna won't either.
So
he doesn't have the votes to win.
I don't see it.
Right? It's 7? Oh, and Catan. We don't know.
We don't know if Catan's voting. So, and normally the 2 people that are evicted, 3rd and 4th, don't vote for the person that just evicted them. So if you are taken to the final 2, it's a better numbers game for you. Even though like Tamar won unanimously last year, we don't know if it would have been unanimous if she had won her way to the end. But maybe she could have. But normally, the person that wins the last head of household doesn't get the final 2 votes from the last jury members.
Too bad Carson won't be part of the jury. I don't think. They haven't made that clear. We don't know what, like with his quitting or leaving the game, if they're going to allow him to be part of the jury or if they're going to say like, no, like you kind of didn't abide or like complete your contract. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if he's going to, be allowed to vote. So I agree with you, but I hope he does. I
do too.
If Shayna and Carson are final 2, who would win?
Oh, that's tough. I think socially Carson's played a better game, but I think she's played a better strategic game, and people watching might appreciate that a little bit more after she's been played this week.
I think the fact that Carson gets duped this week, that Shayna would win. I think that Teddy, even though Shayna voted her out, I think that she would have respected what she ended up was doing because they didn't have the votes.
I agree.
And then seeing that she was trying to make things right and then they completely flipped on her, I think that Teddy would stand by Shayna. So that's 1 for Shayna. I think that Mariah, she likes Carson, though. I'm not sure about Mariah's vote. Catan, I don't know about Catan. I'm not sure how he would go. Maybe Carson. Kirkpatrick, I think, would vote for Shayna for sure.
I think if Shayna can save herself, that might. But at the same time, Todrick.
Do you think that Todrick would just not vote for Carson just because he doesn't want Carson to win?
Maybe.
So he voted for Shayna.
And I think he would try and push the whole, like, I told you so, we had to get her out, and you guys didn't listen.
And then Misha would
vote for Carson.
Would or would not?
Would. Todrick would vote for Shayna.
And then so one more. We did one more for Shayna.
And Todd and Lamar. I'm not sure.
Lamar would probably vote for Shayna.
They've been friendly. I guess she's been flirting so much.
And I don't think Todd would vote for Carson for the fact that like he was supporting Cynthia.
And he put him on the block. He's very clearly vindictive.
Yeah. Let it go. Let it go.
It's week 1.
Let it go. Hi, Sherry Lynn. Thanks for joining us again this evening. Okay, so I only know about Todrick because of the cookout staying at his house. And if he needs the money from a Big Brother win, so desperately, he could downsize to a house without a movie theater. Yeah, no, he has a 10,000 square foot home in Hollywood or like in LA. That's probably a $5 million house. Like,
he's fine.
And
he's about to go on tour. Like, he is fine financially. He, like they said, he wants to buy like what the
Wizard of Oz hat or
like,
something. Because like he wants to get married because Wizard of Oz inspired him, which is cool. But okay, so with regular Big Brother, doesn't the player that quit isn't part of the jury? Yes, I do feel so, but I'm not sure what was in his contract. For me, it feels like Catan like only thought he would be there for 1 week. Because remember when he wasn't nominated the first week, he was like, what? Like, I think that he was lasting longer than he really intended on lasting. And
I think his assumption was he could say like, I want to go home now. And everyone would be like, all right, we're going to send him home.
Right. And so maybe they even like put that in his contract, be like,
yeah.
Well, like you could, like if you don't want to stay,
you don't have
just
to
get them to put you up and then they'll send you home. But they just wouldn't do that. Because they wanted Carson out so badly.
And then Mariah out so badly.
If Cynthia and Shayna are final 2, did we just do that one? No, Cynthia. I think Shayna would win.
I don't know. Cynthia, in my opinion, has a lot of votes.
But not Todd, right?
Though Todd, like,
Todd kept
saying after the fight that he was like, I just didn't want to say I was voting out Kirkpatrick in front of her, and we were fighting, and it's like, I don't know.
You're nasty. Talking about see you in the streets, like
yeah. And especially with his history of like with the knife.
I didn't know there's a history with the knife.
Not something to joke about.
Hi, Jess. So Jess says, yeah, since when did Celebrity Big Brother turns into who needs the money more, right? Like more than none of them need money. Yeah. Like how about like I need money,
yeah,
guys. Okay, I'll go on and sing Celebrity Big Brother and play and be like, I need the money, guys.
We'll play as one player. We don't care.
Like let me
Let's
win.
see the twins. Season 4.
Oh my god, go Andrew. Can you tell? I mean, maybe Carson and Cynthia would fall for it. Yeah. Okay, when I was like 21, me and my best friend Nicole, she's a white woman, and we used to tell people that we were in the New Yorker and that we were like mixed race, like fraternal twins, and people used to believe us. I'm like, oh my god, you were the black and white twins that had like the study that was done. And like I saw someone years later in Montreal, and they're like, oh my god, like you have like the white sister and the white twin, and I was like, yeah. Like literally didn't think that anybody would believe it. It's possible to happen, but
I think I remember seeing it like happen to some UK couple.
So that's something that I told half of my life ago.
Amazing.
The way that Todrick and Misha lied to Carson about Shayna was horrible. Okay, let's get to there. Let's get to there. So what did you think about Misha not going up to see Carson's head of household rule? We know that's like part of like Big Brother, like 101. Yeah. You go up and you see their head of household rule.
I agree 100%. But she's been pushing this narrative of integrity and not being a fake B. So a part of me was like, trust me, I do not want to stand Misha. But a part of me is like, yeah, I respect it. Like, you don't want to go up, don't go up, whatever. Who cares? But the polite thing to do would have been to go upstairs. They've all gone up for your 10-day head of household reign with one and your back-to-back win. If Misha stays and wins HOH next week, I'm washing my hands of the season, and 100%, I put all my money on her to win, and she deserves it, and I won't complain.
No, I'll be fine with it. They had their shot, and
this
they
week
blew
was
it.
A shot, and they didn't take it. They could have taken a shot with Kirkpatrick's HOH. Wasn't going to happen because he had a boner for Misha. So they all had boners for Misha.
I know, it's so weird. Hi, Maureen. So Maureen says, I think that Todd needs it most. Probably. The internet says his net worth is only $250K, unlike the rest who are worth millions. Yeah.
God, if we lived in the States, we could Venmo him some cash, but we're Canadians.
I do have Venmo.
Well,
my stepmom lets me use her Venmo.
Lucky.
So you guys want to anyways, hit me on Venmo. It's Sheila and Francis, my mom, my stepmom.
I'm like Sheila and Sharon. Dads and S's.
Okay, yes. Flora says, but her jury...
Bitter Betty.
Oh, sorry. Bitter Betty. Reread it.
Bitter Betty, unsportsmanlike conduct, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Ooh. She was being a bitter Betty. Like, in my bed. I'm not going up to see his head of house school. I don't want to be fake. Fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
At the same time, if I'm looking around, if I was Todrick at this point, I would think that I could beat her, though we can't. So if she continues to piss people off here and there, not the worst strategy for her.
Jess has a good point here. It's not fake to be polite. I mean, that's the thing is go up and just be polite. You don't necessarily have to enjoy the person that you're seeing in their room, but they're showing their pictures and they're showing a little bit of their life. I don't know. It's just a nicety. I think it's making a statement that if you don't go up being like, I'm not interested in your life or who you are as a person, I'm staying away. So I agree. She's pretty rude. I like Kirkpatrick's exit interview with Julie when he said that Lance Bass would make fun of him and change his name to the group to and suck. Yeah, that would be funny. I don't know if he has the power, but he doesn't have the power to change it. Because a YouTuber edition, that would be interesting if they did that. Would love that. Please. Have some more wine. Glass of something. Ding.
Pick up more wine.
No, you like, oh, thank you. I like Chantele's hair and JoJo. Bye. Yeah.
God, of course. Sophie making fun of me.
That was so rude of her. Oh, of Sophie? Oh no, of Misha.
Misha.
Yeah, Misha's just a rude bee. A rude bee. I don't know. Oh, I don't know who that is. So I wasn't impressed with that. But I did love like Carson's when he gets his robe and he's in the head of household room. I'm sorry, in the confessional, and he's like, "Oh, she must be busy eating kale." I'm like, I'm so busy eating kale. But then I was thinking in my head, I was getting a little bit dirty about it, and I was thinking Kale from what season was the girl's name?
Yes.
And I was thinking of picturing Misha going down on Kale.
Love and Life.
What season was that? It's like in the teens, I think. Maybe 13, 14.
No.
I don't know.
Maybe 14? I don't remember.
Not 14. Not 15.
16,
so it
not
must
16.
be like 12, maybe?
Probably 12.
Who was Kale? What season was Kale
Help
on?
us. Let us have.
Let me see who Misha's going down on. Or busy eating. Sorry, I don't want to misrepresent what I'm saying here. Ooh. So Carson, doesn't even want. So Carson doesn't even want to use like the veto, like for Todrick. Sorry, let me say this again. I'm getting tipsy now, guys. Sorry about this. So Carson, of course, does not want Todrick to use the veto. Right? This is normal. Like, if you're the head of household, you want your nominations to stay the same because you don't want to put up another person instead. And Carson's making this deal with Todrick. So Todrick, hey, like, I'm keeping you off the block. Like, you know that Misha is the biggest threat to leave. Like, how about you just not win the veto? And if you do win the veto, will you please keep the noms the same? And Mr. I Can Lie All the Time doesn't even lie here.
That's too hard. That's too scary.
It's too hard. It's so scary. Like, this should be very telling to Carson that this isn't a good deal for you because he will use the veto. He will take off Misha. Now they'll have a real reason to come for you. And she's very likely to win the next head of household competition because it will be something decently physical.
Yeah.
It's going to be probably like slip and slide. You know what I mean?
Probably, yeah. And Lamar could actually probably do well in that.
But he's also clumsy.
Yeah, he's not going to win anything.
He's very clumsy.
You know what? If Shanna goes this week, then I want Misha to win. Just fully win out until the end. Perfect. It's fine.
Yeah, well, because if you screw up, then it's over.
Let Carson go home and see what Todrick's been saying about him since day one. Let Cynthia have an emotional spiral to 5th place, and then take out Lamar and Todd. And Todrick can hopefully lose. He won't lose to 0 because Cynthia will probably still vote for him because she loves him.
I would love him to get
reason.
0 votes. No vote finalist is like so tasty.
Very big D of him.
So Sophie's saying that this could be the final Celebrity Big Brother. Is this fact, Sophie, or is this just speculation? If they had trouble finding the cast for the season, I could cast this season with celebrities.
Yeah.
Bigger celebrities than these ones.
Yeah.
So I don't know what their problem is. Like, I know I could cast this.
Are they just afraid of being on camera for that amount of time?
I'm not sure.
Assuming so.
It's
They're
3 weeks.
They're afraid to like be seen for that long, sleeping, all that kind of stuff. It's like they can shut the cameras off.
Oh, thank you, Jess. Season 8. It was so with Jen and Evil Dick. Interesting, Danielle. Kale season 8. Okay, well, Misha was just busy eating kale. I'm gonna make a meme maybe, or like some sort of pic.
Sophie, we can't watch Hulu. We live in Canada.
I have Hulu though.
You
I have
do?
Hulu. Yeah.
Canadian Hulu?
No, I have my sister's account.
God.
I told you with the VPN. I
Your
have
VPN,
it.
Like she's sad. Canadians can't watch Hulu.
But I have Hulu.
VPN.
I do have Hulu. So, but we did have most seasons were on Paramount Plus.
And then they
US.
cut it.
Oh,
like
it's
30
all
plus.
on US.
That's like 30 plus.
Sorry. If Carson gets evicted at some point, people will stop watching the show.
His GRs are incredible.
He's fun, man. He's fun.
We also have like a week left. Like it's not the show's almost over.
So
and then BB can.
What do you think
stress more.
of the final 4 pitch? So Carson's kind of saying to Todrick, like, well, like, how about we get the final 4 back together? why don't we, we started together, the girls and the gays, like, why don't we come back together? And I think this is something that Todrick should consider, because like he can beat them in a competition, maybe more likely than, well, maybe Misha's better competitions.
I think he actually has a better bet of getting to the final two
with
with Misha, Lamar, and Todd, but he loses to Misha.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I think if he hits final four, I don't think he's going to cut Misha. I think he will bring her to the end.
And he is right. I'm sure that they would jump him final four, like he would be fourth out.
We don't know, because Cynthia and Carson are an obvious duo, clearly. But he did.
We should put her in that position. She's between Carson and fucking Todrick. Shayna should put Cynthia in that position.
Win each race.
That would make me.
Who are you gonna vote for?
Yeah, who are you gonna vote for?
Cynthia.
Like, make a line in the sand.
Yeah, Cynthia, I'll take you to final four with Lamar and Todd. That would be wild. That would be a fine.
That's a cunty move.
And then she takes Cynthia. She's like, and I'll bring you to Found Two and beat you too. Let's go.
I would be obsessed.
I would love it.
Obsessed.
A part of me,
Carson versus like Todrick.
A part of me pictured Cynthia and Shayna at the end. For whatever reason, I always pictured it. Final four. Somehow the two of them making it to the final two seats. Doubt it's going to happen now.
It's hard.
But I think Todrick should have taken the deal, and I think he did make it to final two with Shayna. I think he should have tried to go that route.
So
let them get blood on their hands. Let Carson become an asshole for a week. Take out his number one, or say, hey, how about the five of us go to final five and battle it up?
That's like next week or next tomorrow. That's like Monday. We were at final 7, so it's gonna be 6. So that's like
two more
Friday.
Evictions. So it's like, why don't the five of us just become the final five? It's the girls and gays.
Plus who? Plus
so
Misha?
Carson, Todrick, Misha, Cynthia, Shayna.
Right.
That he could have pushed that so hard. Let's get out the boys that are doing nothing, that aren't playing the game. Lamar, Todd, bye.
But like, they're obsessed with Misha, so she wants to have the fan club. To be fair, she does. So the end of this episode was like where we already knew what was going on, because we've been on the Twitter feeds and live feeds, and Todrick starts painting Shayna as a liar and taking some truths, kind of turning it, and he's doing this intentionally. And so this is good gameplay, in my opinion, that he is doing what it takes for him to save himself potentially and his closest ally by turning the opposition against each other and forcing them to eat their own. So this is what anybody that's a good Big Brother player is going to want to do. The how of it that they didn't specifically show on the episode was what I had a big problem with. I don't like slut shaming. I don't like using who needs it more. Like, I don't like how he has decided that she doesn't deserve to be in the game anymore because she was playing both sides. Like, and then saying that you're completely honest and loyal and trustworthy when you're not. Like, it was just so frustrating to watch. And poor Shayna, like, I do feel bad for Shayna. Yes, she got caught playing the middle, and she didn't cover her bases for the fact that, like, she needed to maybe be a little bit more transparent with what she was specifically doing for Carson and Cynthia to really understand what she was doing, what she was saying to them, and being more transparent that way.
But taking Carson off the block kind of
I think that should have been enough.
That should have been enough.
It should have been enough.
That's number one. That's it. That's good. We're good. The three of us together to the end. Yeah. Perfect.
It should have definitely been enough. But she was naive to believe that should have been enough. She really should have.
Well, she did warn them. She did say, like, Todrick and Misha are probably going to come to you and try anything to say. And they did. And they could potentially be staying.
And it worked. And it just, like, it was so, like, from what I watched, Cynthia was just like, what? Like,
the wind blew, and it just...
new perspective. I'm going to believe everything that doesn't exist. Upside down, backwards, like crazy town. And that's also what's really frustrating to watch. Not the great gameplay, because it shouldn't work on somebody normal. Like, it just shouldn't work. Like a fan or someone that knows the game a little bit, because they would see the reasons why Cynthia's so mad. It's like, well, you've never been on the block. We've all been on the block. And it's like, well, I haven't been on the block because I protected myself and I protected you guys. So I had it twice and I didn't use it because if I used it, Carson would have gone up on the block if I used the veto the first time I got it.
And her number one was HOH week 2. So obviously she's not going on the block. Also, Lamar's never been on the block. Misha's never been on the block. And Todrick's never been on the block. So that's 4 people still in the house that have never touched the block. She's not the only one.
And what I find really interesting is that, like, in all these fights, they didn't bring up the fact that Kirkpatrick was planning on targeting Todrick. That would have been interesting to see how if Shayna could spin it some way to be like, that was what the plan was, or something.
But they did. Like, they brought that to them.
That
Todrick I think Carson and Cynthia have like short-term goldfish memory. It's like they forget everything. They wake up the next morning and start anew, and yay, everything is great.
I just wrote down, I'm like, you're getting played. You're getting played. Played. It's so uncomfortable to watch, especially because I'm rooting for them. But when this is Nicole Anthony all over again with Janelle begging her to believe her, and it was easier for her to believe a cockanamie lie than the truth that somebody was actually working for them. And I think it's the plight of the Bucks and Blondes, like people that feel inferior to that maybe stereotype, like can't believe that they're actually on their side, or that they're working with them, or that they're nice, or that they're genuine, or that they're being truthful to them. It's easier for them to feel as though they're being duped, misled, lied to by somebody that's tall, beautiful, big boobs, blonde hair, like that whole idea.
Seduce them into playing
right. And so this is Nicole Anthony did the exact same thing, and this is the exact same way I feel about how Shayna's being treated right now.
Yeah, and I just realized that Shayna swore on her kids.
She swore on her kids.
So if you're willing to do that on Celebrity Big Brother,
when we're talking about integrity
all
this whole time,
play. She's just like, I swear on my kids, this is the truth. Here it is.
But Cynthia wasn't listening. She stopped listening at that point because Cynthia gets like one track mind. Like, this is her thought. Then she goes down the stairs and she starts telling this to Lamar. And then Shayna comes over.
She's way too open. She's told everyone that her and Carson had a final 2. When the next day that happens, she's like, oh, by the way, we have a final 2. It's official. Oh, she does not mind. Oh, do you want to join our alliance? Yeah, of course. She gives way too much information straight off the gate.
So she comes down, like, after they're all in the head of household room and they're interrogating Shayna. And, like, even getting to that room was a challenge because she wanted to start talking to Cynthia. Well, first she broke up Todrick. Shayna came into the washroom and they were all having a talk with firstly Cynthia. Cynthia's like, okay, let's bring in Carson because, like, I need Carson to be here to hear this from the horse's mouth. Well, the horse's mouth isn't you two, Misha and Todrick. Like, the horse's mouth would be Shayna before you hear any of this shit. And so they pitched him, and like they're like, "Oh my god, oh my god, I can't believe I'm being deceived!" Like, oh my god, like what? Let's just look at facts. So then Shayna comes in and is like, "Oh, okay, sorry, I'll give you some time," like, and leaves. Yeah. Lets them have their talk. Later on, Cynthia comes down. I think it was this is the order, and talks to Lamar and tells Lamar, like, "Oh, that girl's been playing both sides this whole time." Blah blah blah. Shayna comes out and it's like, "Hey, like, can we talk?" She's not right now. And I'm like,
with Carson only.
Only with Carson. It's like, oh, because you can't have like a rational conversation one-on-one with somebody because you realize that you're a ding dong and you get easily influenced by people. So you want to have someone else there to be easily influenced with you. So they finally go up to the head of household room. They talk. She can't believe that she's so mad. She doesn't even know what she's so mad about. Yeah. And she's just like sitting there, like just with this like stank face, which was so frustrating to look at. And like, she's a beautiful woman, obviously, but like seeing her like angry at Shayna for nonsense was very
ugly,
unattractive. Yeah. It was very unattractive. And Shayna was just like, Yes, I told you that I was doing this.
Yeah.
Yes,
How
I
come
was
you with
playing
all
on
this
something. I
information?
gave you all the information. I took him off the block. Facts. She's just spitting facts.
She's being logical, and you made a great point earlier
Yeah.
that Carson and Cynthia are definitely playing more emotionally, and Shayna's not. Shayna's playing a great game up until 24 hours ago. The other thing is, Cynthia actually went to Lamar and started to talk to him about this, and he said, "No, I don't believe it. I actually don't think that they were working together. They've both told me that they wanted the other person out. Shayna has been honest with me, said that she wants Todrick out. She wants Misha out. Misha has gone to Lamar and said, I want Shayna out. If Shayna didn't have veto last week, she would have been the replacement nom and probably out the door." So Cynthia, I think, has selective hearing or selective listening.
And selective understanding on how the game mechanics work.
And I think Carson's either just he's just being dumb, or he's so invested in Cynthia that he'll go with the flow and what she wants to do.
And it was just so disheartening that in the end, like, they both, like, Carson and Cynthia are like, I think I believe them.
Yep.
I think I believe them. Like, it takes more work to believe this nonsense than to believe the truth. And it's because they are kinder individuals and they're not being cutthroat, and they don't realize that people are going to do what it takes to win. So I understand the naivety of the game itself, but the fact that they keep on saying, I just don't think that Misha and Todrick would lie to us. So
Well, guess
Shayna
what?
has to be lying.
They would.
They did.
It's not just lying. It's taking some bits of truth. No one's saying Shayna wasn't playing the house.
Mhm.
Obviously, she's been playing both sides. It's the way she went about it. She made a choice. La-di-dee, la-di-da. When they get to this house, I really think Cynthia and Carson are going to be embarrassed about the last 2 days.
It is embarrassing at this point. It's so sad. It's so embarrassing. I was so excited for this head of household. I mean, you know what? It is fascinating to watch. And as a person that loves gameplay and strategy and would potentially want to go on and play and win, it's interesting to see this because it makes me realize if I recognize a very emotional player, I have to make sure that they know everything that I'm doing. So if anything comes back to them, they're not going to feel like I misled them or I duped them or made them feel stupid. And that's what Cynthia is playing off of, is that she feels stupid.
But Shayna saved Carson last week, and that was
but
proof
it
enough.
doesn't. But
should have been proof enough.
She is making the narrative that Shayna is trying to make it look like she's working with them, but really she's not. It's dumb. But she's trying to feed the narrative that she wants. She's trying to feed the narrative that she wants. All right. So that's pretty much the episode. We're going to go through the rest of these comments and then finish our champizies. You know, it's my birthday month or birthday season. Aquarius season. Woo, woo. So Todrick isn't wrong though. He'd be the first out of those.
No. Sorry, Jess. Final four, like the two previous seasons, the last HOH winner gets to eliminate 2 people. So Todrick would have a great chance against Carson and Shayna to win it himself, bring himself to the end. Cynthia's not going to be bringing the 2
anybody.
She'll be
taken, maybe.
If she won, she'd take Carson. If Carson wins, he's taking Cynthia. If Shayna wins, she might take you, Todrick.
Because she knows you suck.
So when you started pushing that final 2, that's your ticket to the final 2 right there.
But that's another thing too. Why didn't they even jump on the fact that Shayna, like Shayna said that Carson came up to her and was like Misha's gone, like let's have a final 2, and she turned it down. Why don't we go down that little rabbit hole and see why that happened? And that's part of the selective hearing that's frustrating. Okay. Remember the rumored cast list and there for this season, and there was a couple of MTV challenge. I know that would be nice. And New York is never going to be on it. I think she's always going to be rumored. I don't think she's ever going to get the amount of money that she wants to get to be on the show. But she'll always be rumored. I think that MTV people will always be rumored. And Johnny Bananas, he actually has a high paycheck too. Like he probably is like, hey, my appearance fee is like $500,000. And like I don't need to do it. I don't want to do it. So
he's done enough challenges.
He's a millionaire. He doesn't care, and his business is doing well. So, and he has an NBC show. He like has his podcast. Like, he's fine. So it has to be a really sweet deal. Did you hear RuPaul is going to host a game show for CBS next TV season? No. So tell me.
I think it's called just one word, whatever it's called.
Thank you. This is definitely the news edition.
Yeah.
So I saw a rumor of a cast list of 25 people. Don't believe everything you read.
Ooh.
Of course.
Yes,
Of course. Okay, so wasn't Todrick and Carson rumored to do Celebrity Big Brother season 1 or 2? They were always in the mix. They are people that...
Todrick turned down season 2, supposedly.
Why? Because he didn't know how to win?
No, I think something was going on in his life, and he turned down season 2.
So you'd ruin that season?
Carson would have been... No, I'm happy Carson's on the season. I love
Carson. Wait, it's Carson and Todrick, you said. So Carson, you said had things going on?
No, Todrick.
Oh, okay.
Todrick was offered season 2, but couldn't do it for whatever reason.
Oh,
Lingo,
yeah, Lingo.
Yes, Lingo.
So what is it, like a word thing?
I don't know. Lingo?
Is it because like the success of Wordle, and they're to have to do like a Wordle on... That's actually a decent...
Can I just say, I quit Wordle.
Why?
Because I was on an 18-day winning streak, and I went to day 19.
Oh,
it was all gone, all my information.
Why?
So I was back to 0. And
I might be back to 0.
Are you kidding me? Like, why did this reset? Where did I wanted to like continue on until I lost, and then like, all right, like I had a great streak, perfect. But I was so pissed that I had 0.
I thought you had, there's one word that was really annoying that like I got on my 6th try, but like I tried every like.
Oh, I know exactly what it was.
It was very annoying.
I had 3, 4. It wasn't the 5th one. It was like, I don't remember what the word was, but it was. I had every word except for the middle one.
Mm-hmm.
So, or every letter.
Yeah, so you just kept changing the letter.
Sprung, spring, blah, 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 whatever.
Exactly. And I was like, no, it was like utter. Utter was one of the words that I tried, I believe.
Other?
Utter, I think. Or I could have tried.
Yeah.
No, I can't remember
if that was one.
I think I screenshot it maybe. Okay, so Paramount Plus wants to... Oh my God, I need my glasses. I'm like drunk now.
Let me do Sophie Dopey. If Paramount Plus wants to stand out from every streaming service out there, they should have a mega crossover event with the challenge, RuPaul's Drag Race, Big Brother, Survivor, Amazing Race,
I'm in.
The Mole, Top Chef.
I thought you were doing CBS shows.
Oh, shit.
Oh, wait, no, Paramount Plus shows. So they're not on Paramount Plus yet, but...
Yes, gladly. I would love that, Sophie Dopey.
How could Cynthia believe Todrick? I don't know.
She believes Todrick.
She doesn't think that Todrick could do that. She just doesn't think that it's possible that
she doesn't think that they'll lie.
Exactly.
In front of them, because they keep pushing. America's going to be so happy that you're taking out Shannon this week. America's going to love this. They've seen the bad gameplay from her, blah, blah, blah.
It was all hearsay. I think that they wanted to believe it. Yeah, I mean, part of them had to want to believe it, because would you rather believe that Todrick has been lying to you this whole time? It's easier to believe that Shayna is the bad person. Now, where was Lamar and Todd during this fight? I was so annoyed when Todrick was getting on the table, listening in, and then Misha coming to the door, listening in, and Shayna's like goes in like, I gave you your time in the bathroom, like you could give me my time here now.
And then she said, I don't really think you gave us your time. Shayna actually came in and was like, walked in, was like, okay, I'll give you guys your time, and left. She did exactly what she said she did.
Yeah. So Sophie says, I'm surprised New York didn't want to do Celebrity Big Brother US because I know she did in the United Kingdom. UK. She probably got a pretty big paycheck. They paid Ray J $1 million to go on Celebrity Big Brother, and he didn't even last the whole time. So I think that she probably got some real money to do that show.
Broder didn't want to pay Tiffany what she expected and didn't think she would deserve the money that she wanted.
Mm-hmm.
When I actually think she would have been fantastic on the show, but
they're not really playing though. They never watched the show. I know, Maureen. I know.
Maureen, my mom's name too.
The cookout must be having a party with their landlord still in the Big Brother house.
They're watching the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Don't get Chantele drunk before going live because she's starting to not make sense with what she's saying. Hey, I'm making sense. Get out of here.
Sophie?
We got a younger version of Carson and Cynthia here.
Gladly.
I'm not a ding dong though.
No, you play it better than
I would never fall for that crap. I mean, I would pretend I would, but I wouldn't. She needs to cry to them and pull on their heartstrings. Yes, because they're both emotional people. She needs to cry. Yep. And that's why I think that even her walking away, yes, she should stay in the fight and like be around there, so people can't be talking about you while like you're gone and create this whole big narrative. Yep. Yeah, I agree with that. But the fact that she's going and she's like sad and she's upset, like I think that Carson's gonna be like, oh, I don't want Shayna to be sad. Like
she just took me off the.
Uh-huh. And the personal digs are very uncalled for. Absolutely. No, of course. Not enemies. Don't lie to the other side. Would never lie. It's not your true ally that would lie. Well, exactly. I mean, well, go ahead, Jojo.
Cynthia has said time and time again, I only trust you. Carson has said time and time again, I only trust you. How about they just trust each other? And they say, you know what? We don't trust any of these people. Let's stick to our original plan. We think we have a final 3 alliance with Shayna. Let's stick with that for the next week. Let's go after Misha. That is who we wanted to go after because she put us both on the block.
Yes.
And
Shayna has never done that. Like, what are you taking out somebody that has never shown you with her actions that she's going to deceive you?
But that is why.
Except for that first boat at the beginning.
I gotta say, if Misha survives this week, she has my full support going forward.
Yep.
She deserves a win.
So why does Cynthia think Shayna took Carson out the block if she was trying to get him out?
Sherry,
that is the question. Maybe we'll pose that question on RuPaul's new quiz show, if it's a quiz show. I like how CBS made fun of the Superboy and the voiceover. Yes, he had a different voice too, and I was like, "Who's this guy?" Like,
thank you for tuning into our show instead.
I was like, "You went off script there a little bit."
He's great.
Yeah, I love that too. They might not eliminate 2 at Final 4. Yes, I think it's going to be a regular Final 3, to be honest. Oh, hi, Lori. So, Lori says, hi, I made one of your lives. I can't see long, but I wanted to stop it and say hello. Tell you that both are awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, Lori.
Thank you for being here.
Wait, Lori, is this Lori from Euphoria, Lori?
Are you guys watching Euphoria?
I do not want to be human trafficked.
Oh my gosh. But like, she's so deadpan. She's like, okay.
You know, Rue.
I'm gonna go home and watch Euphoria. So don't tell me anything about it. Yeah, with Cam quitting, we truly don't know how it ruined Big Brother plans.
I think Catan was everyone's safety net, right?
Mm-hmm.
If Catan was sitting next to half of these players, they could say, he really wants to go home. Like, let's just respect that. He really needs to go home. He's suffering.
I think they expected that. I think they expected Chris Catan to go home week 1. And I think Chris Catan's expecting that he was going to go week 1. And I think that they didn't change the format and the structure of the season. I think that instead of the Final 4 being like the head of household winner is going to choose who's going to sit with them in the Final 2, instead it's going to be similar to a regular Final 3 situation where the winner still just picks who they're taking home, but they're not sending 2 people to the jury, just one person.
My only concern about that is they're going to have to come up with a new competition. They will have
maybe, but maybe not. Why?
Well, they're going to have to come up with an extra one, won't they?
No, because it would be Final 4 competition would be Final 3.
Won't they have to do part 1, part 2, part 3?
No, I'm just saying like whatever competition they're having at Final 4, they just do it at Final 3.
So what will they do at Final 4? A new one?
It will just be a regular competition. Like they're just going to do the same competitions that they're doing up until that point. And instead, the only difference is that they're when the winner
is it's one person less. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so that's kind of what I think. I think they're just not going to change the schedule. I think that they're going to, the winner of the Final 3 instead of the Final 4 head of household is just going to take who they want to the Final 3 and only send one person to the jury.
Or no double eviction. Was there double eviction?
Well, so there'd be no double eviction, but then they would just be a Final 4. It's like, what do you need the Final 4 for?
Yeah. Do we have double eviction?
I'd rather have a double eviction than, I think there's one. Yeah. It's probably on Friday.
2 hours to do something.
All right. So how many people are going to be in jury? I guess
9, 8?
8 or 9.
I think Catan will be in jury. That's my guess.
Because they get to go home. If they had to go to sequester and he chose not to go to sequester,
that's different.
Then that's different. They might give him a pass because it's Chris Catan. So I think that it will still be 9. I do. Well, JoJo, this is fun.
I loved it.
This was fun hanging out in real livesies.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh my Lanta. Well, it was great hanging out with you guys in the chat. Do you have anything going on that you want to share with the people?
No, just like keeping our fingers crossed for what we did tonight. So keep that between you.
Thanks. Please, Shayna, win the head of household. Win the veto. That's what you have to do first. Win the veto and save yourself.
Then win.
And maybe be cunty and take off Todd just to like shove it to them and make them have to like mess up their game.
Oh my God, it'd be beautiful.
And then like see if they will put up Todd.
She needs to take off Todd and say, "Hey Todd, you're voting with me."
Yeah.
And we're gonna vote out Misha still, but or we're gonna vote out whoever Carson puts up. Perfect. Who's gonna be?
It will probably be Lamar, and he won't vote out Lamar, so Misha will go. But it would be good for her to build some bridges with Todd. So that's what I want right now because her bridges are burned with Carson and Cynthia. So like, who cares what they want? Do what she wants now. Like she can do what she wants now, which is kind of fun. She doesn't have to like worry about what people think or whatnot. She can just play her own damn game. So rooting for Shayna to win this power veto, take off Todd, screw over his HOH, win head of household, put up Todd Trick and Carson, and
double eviction. They both go.
I mean, I don't want Carson to go, but I just need Cynthia to be in a Sophie's Choice position. Not you, Sophie Dopey, but I just need her Sophie Dopey choice.
Oh, that's her new. That should be your new username, Sophie Dopey.
Oh my God, Sophie Dopey's choice.
Sophie Dopey's choice.
And if you're not sick of me already, I will be live tomorrow after the episode with Rob as a podcast. Beforehand, I'll be with Sarah from Nerdtainment on the Sarah Atwood on Twitch, watching episode 7 of Australian Survivor. And then on Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern, watching episode 8 and 9 of Australian Survivor, and then doing the roundtable with Rob as a podcast. Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to be live with Phil, doing a little bit of amazing race chat. Friday, or Wednesday and Friday with JoJo, maybe?
Yeah.
Wednesday and Friday with JoJo, we will be doing recaps for Celebrity Big Brother. And then around about Sunday, doing Australian Survivor, weekly recap, and Celebrity Big Brother with JoJo.
Beautiful, you got it all. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Love you guys. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks, everybody.
Bye, Lori.
Thank you.